Well, good day, folks. Hello and welcome and welcome and hello and hello and welcome. And let me welcome you and add hello and welcome and welcome and hello. My name is DannyDealz, Danny Vegas, dropping dimes on you. They call me Danny Dimes, south of the equator. It's un Poco Mas, the show where we give you just a little bit more. Today we are talking about the Sofi stock, ticker symbol SOFI, Sofi Technologies Incorporated. Guys, it is Tuesday, December 12, 2023. It is 11:52 a.m. out here in beautiful, sunny, summery Los Angeles, California. We are located in the faux office complex directly overhanging the Pacific Ocean. It is one beautiful day. Not a day to be inside making crappy YouTube videos. It is a day to be outside being active, but of course here I am in my Las Vegas visor, talking to you turds. But guys, SoFi stock on the day is down 12 cents or 1.55% on moderate volume, 21 million shares. We need to be up in that 30 million plus range to get any bullish activity. Volume on the day is very, very flat. Typical shallow bull pattern. There is a little bit of variance, but the algo is locked on extremely tight. This pattern is very SoFi. It's a mountain and hump, and then the hump bottomed out there around 12 p.m. Um, or 9 a.m. my time, but 12 p.m., and then it's just pushed up a little bit. Now, I've been telling you, how do they control the price action on the stock? They control the price action on the stock with borrowing and with volume. They're able to take all the volume right out. Now, look at what happens on the day, guys. The shorts are returning some shares. Now, look at the chart. During that period, because that lags a little bit, stock is going consistently up. Okay? Now, when it gets to a level where it's about to pass where some of the calls might actually start to pay, what happens? Boom, they reverse course and they start to borrow again. So where they had returned, supposedly 4 million shares, now they just borrowed another almost 3 million. So they've returned 1 million on the day. Yesterday, by that same time, they had borrowed 8.5 million shares. Now, supposedly they returned 5 million of those shares overnight. The short itself is as high as it's been, basically, with the exception of right here in June. It basically was at the same level. It's the highest it's been in a year plus. While shares on loan went down a little bit, from as high as almost 160 million to currently sitting at 134 million, the short interest itself went up. It was sitting on Friday at 131 million shares short, and by Monday it was 140 million shares short. So over on Monday, the shorts shorted another 8 million shares while actually returning some shares off of loan. Shorts that either must have went short long or naked short, because they are shorting more shares without borrowing the shares. So they either had to have shares to cover or they're naked short illegally, which, we all know naked shorting happens all the time. But in any case, guys, this short is just as dangerous as it gets. I don't understand it. Like, okay, shorting heavily Monday, 8 million shares. Now, CPI today, maybe they were hoping for a hot number, which would mean the Fed would probably raise rates again at its next meeting. The FUD, once again, the FUD did not materialize. They are who we thought they were, and CPI was kind of right as expected. It's cooling. Nothing there to lead anyone to believe that the Fed would increase rates at the upcoming meeting. And in fact, quite the contrary. In fact, I think it was Blackstone or BlackRock, one of the two. Their analysts were coming out and saying, and also another big investment house I was hearing say this. They're looking for rates to start being cut by the summer of 2024. So I don't know if that's going to materialize. I don't know what's going on, in Fed Jerome Powell's mind, but it certainly doesn't. Absolutely, apple cider, why not? We all love apple cider at Un Poco Mas. Guys, hello and welcome, welcome and hello, hello and welcome. Guys, I would like to say, just to reiterate, welcome and hello and hello and welcome and good afternoon and welcome and hello. We're talking SoFi. It's un Poco Moss. Ticker symbol is SOFI. Tuesday, 12/12/23. A stock still trading in that low 793, sort of a double hump pattern, pulling back down, shorting again. Volume's actually ticking up here just a little bit. Yesterday, all the way down to 24 million shares. It looks like we should at least exceed that total. Maybe get up above, say, 26, 27 today. But somehow these market makers are not only able to control the borrowing, but they really control the volume. And I know that means, that the trading desks and the shorts and all these people would have to be talking to each other and colluding, and that would be a conspiracy theory. But guys, it's just it's not long ago, guys. It's just like in the beginning of December, this thing's pushing up and you're seeing volume, 60, 70 million, 50 million. It's no secret, guys. Look at the pumps. The only time you see volume in the stock, when the bears are in control, there's no volume in the stock. There's nobody coming in. Retail's not really selling. You see the volume, it's all green. It's all when there's, basically uptrends. When you see these flat, descending, bleeding sideways periods, just all the volume sucked out of the stock. And it's basically a circle jerk. The market makers are trading themselves, they're churning, they're making money different ways. Obviously, they're killing a ton of calls, but they're also stopping people out. They're making money on spreads, or selling puts. All kinds of different ways market makers make money. Off of retail investors who tend to do stupid, impulsive, emotional things because algorithms and computers obviously have no emotion. They just trade based on math and how they can bring the most money out of other people. And that's what we see. Guys, my argument today, I was absolutely pumped up by Tanner with Future Investing's live stream last night on he came out and he just made, this is the bull case for SoFi. He just laid it out. It was a great video, great live stream. I encourage you to go back and rewatch that one on his channel. Um, just basically made the case for the growth, for the sustained, consistent growth. Oh, I'm out of tap water again. That proves the bull case. And when I talk about valuation, guys, SoFi's not getting a tech valuation. They're not getting a growth valuation. Like, people who say this company's overvalued, I don't really understand it, okay? The current market cap is about 3x next year's sales. It's growing by 35% at the top line, about to make a net profit. And then you have this tech side. They're saying the growth is going to come from financial services and tech. These are eventually going to be very high margin businesses. This company is barely starting to scale. The business model has barely had a chance to work yet. But you have so much good execution behind you. You should have so much confidence in management at this point. The business model makes a ton of sense. And I'm trying to understand, if SoFi got, I think, was just a reasonably appropriate valuation for a company that's like right at the break even phase, showing, good progress on their margins, excellent EBITDA, turning in triple beat after triple beat after triple beat, growing consistently against all odds through the pandemic, and just marching toward that gap net profit that they're promising, all while growing rapidly. Usually, companies have to choose one or the other. There's very few companies that can grow rapidly and still keep those margins under control, keep spending under control, and achieve gap net profitability. I think what SoFi's done, between you and me, is just extraordinary, quite frankly. And I feel that the company is strongly, just way undervalued. And I know sometimes these guys, you say, okay, these are software companies. Well, take a look at a firm, guys. Market cap, $12 billion. Okay. So, it's not double SoFi, but it's much, much larger than SoFi. Impressive growth. Not unlike SoFi. The last year they went from, 1.3 to 1.6. SoFi's actually grew faster than that. But you look at their revenues, 400, 450. They're losing 250, and then 200 million last quarter that they reported. Q3 they did have a nice beat, but they're still losing a lot of money. And their revenue is still actually less than SoFi, and they're losing, 100, $200 million a quarter, and their business model is not nearly as innovative, resilient as SoFi. I don't think the quality of the management is there. I don't think they have any real special sauce. I mean, if you want to talk about a deal with Amazon, you think it's like people who celebrate if they sell a product and they get like, a deal with Walmart in the old days. They're going to cut your margins down to nothing. They're going to clip your balls like the florist in the movie The Town with Ben Affleck. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome and hello. Hello and welcome. Welcome and hello. You have stumbled across un Poco Moss. It's Toper Trades, the first trading system for plus-size gentlemen. You guys can use Toper Trades too, even if you are at a healthy weight. But I would just suggest you do wear a suit, kind of weight yourself down with the formalities, perhaps a pocket square, all of those things, perhaps a vest, a cummerbund, whatever you have to do. If you want to dress up like you're going to a Mexican wedding in the late 1970s, perhaps a hot pink or orange tuxedo, I would highly recommend that. Perhaps the tuxedos that Lloyd and Harry wore in Dumb and Dumber. What's up, guys? Hello and welcome, welcome and hello. Who's in the ether between us? Adam DeMonico, Ian Boyd, Alex, Firehouse Pete is checking in again. He's at the airport. This guy's on vacation when he's not saving lives. What a life. Short squeeze incoming. Ross Fletcher. Because dumb action. Be a Dr. Turd, my good sir. I don't even know what my title says. I can't read it. SoFi doesn't. My computer, my stupid monitor for these comments is so small. I can't even see what I wrote. What did I write, Ross Fletcher? What does my title say? SoFi doesn't. I seriously can't read anything. My technical difficulties are. Was your title confirmed wrong? I don't know. What idiots are selling? The idiots sold them to me. Let's go. Sold some SoFi cash secured puts. Hi, Christopher. Hola, Bobby Joe. I don't know if he's saying holla or hola, but either way, holla, hola. Sorry I'm late. I feel like Tanner M. Russo. That's funny. M. Russo is usually the first person here. You are very late. Number 18. How many hats do you own? I wear a lot of hats, Brian. I wear a lot of hats, Brian, with a Y. Alberto Bertie Avalos here, but no video coming from St. Martin where it's balls hot. This guy's St. Martin, St. Thomas. Want to talk to you about that. We want to visit the islands. Alberto seems to be the man out there. Ruben Kotz, CPI. I think CPI is bullish. I think we want to see that cooling. I think we want to see that, the feds aren't going to raise rates again. And hopefully, as we get moderate cooling, we get that soft landing. It looks pretty good right now, guys. I mean, I don't know what you wanted, but that's basically what people were predicting, what people are asking for. SoFi is doing very, very well. We just don't want to see major shocks to the system. We want to see predictability. We want to see, them continuing to get these sort of, we don't want to see growth that's not sustainable, but we don't want to see growth that's anemic. I think SoFi is playing it right down the middle. They're getting to profitability. They're still growing. It's a balancing act, Anthony Noto, Tony Notes, my godfather. He's denied that he's my biological father many, many times. I don't know. I definitely have not been able to get a paternity test. I've tried to get on Maury many, many times. Noto won't come on. I've invited Manu and Poco Moss. Anthony Noto, I know you're watching. Come on in, Poco Moss. Stop dodging me. Get on in here. Let's see, Mr. Poto. Hello and welcome. Welcome and hello, not a lurker. Hello and welcome. The beast, C-Bar Engineering's a beast at 240. Probably a middle linebacker. Just coming over the top, just ringing your bell. Danny D for president. Why not? President of the Hair Club for Men. I am not just a client. I am not just a turd. I am also a huge turd. David Redliner. Hello, David Redliner. I like to sing that name, Redliner. Hello, it's David Redliner. I'm here to sell you some insurance. My name is David Redliner. Nobody panic. Chaos Perez. Chaos is here. What's up? Haven't seen you in a while, Chaos. Good to see you. Have to catch the rerun. Yeah, guys, what's up? Welcome and hello. Hello and welcome. I wanted to say, okay, a firm is valued at $12 billion. Their sales are less than SoFi. They make less than SoFi. Oh my God, they got to deal with Amazon. Okay, celebrate. Why are you going to celebrate that? Amazon is going to take your margins into that. If these payment things made a bunch of margin, Amazon would take that business itself. Amazon has a payment service. This is nothing Amazon can't build. Amazon just wants to outsource the garbage to companies like Affirm that sell Peloton bikes to people in leaky trailer parks who can't afford the payments on their used 2017 Tesla Model 3 with the standard range and the rear wheel only drive. These losers. Look at a company then, okay, this is fintech. If you want to say, and you say SoFi's just a bank. SoFi's clearly a fintech and a software company. You just look at the reality. Those businesses haven't started booming yet. They haven't started making money, but Affirm doesn't make any money. And in fact, they lose a ton of money. Look at a company like Palantir who just makes a little bit of money. I mean, everyone wants to use these buzzwords: machine learning, algorithm, artificial intelligence. The bottom line, government contracts aren't as lucrative as everyone thinks they are. And this company's humming right along, making, revenues around $500 million a quarter. They just gave their fucking founder $1 billion or something in stock options, a la Elon Musk. I mean, is the guy worth $1 billion? I don't know. He seems like a very brilliant guy. But the bottom line is they're not earning hardly any money. They were losing 100 million, then they made 30 million, 16 million, 28 million. I know theoretically, as they scale, they're going to have, very good margins, but they're having to invest a ton of money into their domestic sales force to try to ramp up their commercial sales. They don't want to be dependent on these low margin government contracts. But guys, their revenue's about the same as SoFi. Their margins are not as good as SoFi. Their growth is not as strong as SoFi. And their valuation is $38 billion. SoFi's sitting at 7. I mean, SoFi's not a growth stock. SoFi's not a tech stock. Pinch me. I'm dreaming. Wake me up from the nightmare. CrowdStrike. Again, great company, security company, growing rapidly. No argument from me here. This is a really good company. But just looking at their, quarterlies, they were selling 580, 640, 790. So they're growing, 50 million per quarter roughly, which is outstanding. They just are hitting profitability. Again, very, very good. I'm not making any argument against this company. I know it's software. I know their margins are good, and they will be extremely good, but they're just a little bit bigger than SoFi, growing at a similar rate of SoFi. Market cap, $60 billion. And I know they have cash and they don't have debt, and it's a different company. I do understand I'm comparing apples and oranges to some degree here. But if you look at Affirm, I mean, even if you value SoFi as a bank, you look at the growth, you look at their deposits, there's no other company growing like SoFi that is getting such a shitty, anemic valuation from the street. This is a great, great article, guys, on Seeking Alpha. It's by Shareholders Unite. SoFi is winning market share, December 12, 2023. I don't really know who this guy is. I've read an article or two. He says he's an academic with 30 years experience, portfolio manager. Very, very intelligent. He goes over the general stuff. There's a ton of numbers. He talks about economies of scale. He's talking about how things are ramping up. He's talking about how we're right on the cusp of breaking bad here. We're right at the tipping point. Talks about the tech platform, talks about how Galileo accounts are recovering, talks about data and AI, talks about capital ratios. I don't have time and I don't have the voice to read you all of this, but talks about how credit quality is holding up, talks about how the gain on sale margins are there, talking about how the FUD from the loan sales is just that, is complete FUD and bullshit. This guy's a lot smarter than I am. He has a lot more facts. But listen to this on the Q3 call. This is a great quote here. I can't find another company that's driven the level of consistent growth that we have in revenue, as well as our member base and product base, while driving such significant improvement in profitability and building a high quality deposit and funding base and diversifying it. In addition to growing tangible book value by the level that I mentioned, I remain confident that no company is better positioned than SoFi to be the winner that takes most in the digital transformation of financial services. Who said that, guys? Theodore Roosevelt? Albert Einstein? DannyDealz, no. Nay. It was Anthony Noto, CEO, SoFi Technologies Incorporated. GAAP profitability includes stock-based compensation, which is pretty high at 273 million for the past 12 months, exceeding 2 billion, in which 14% of revenue, which is steep. And I agree, they're trying to pull that stock-based compensation down into the single digits, and the sooner the better for me. He goes into the bear case, which is actually pretty good analysis. He's talking about how their accounting is front loaded and how they make some rosy assumptions. Excess capital is already depleting rapidly anyway, so lending growth is likely to slow down. That's just the fact. They are going to become capital constrained eventually if they're growing the loan book at this rate. They just can't grow deposits as fast as they can grow loans. SoFi is likely, but they are still growing deposits very rapidly. They've sold only 15 million alone versus Q3 versus 3.8 billion in originations. So regulators could start to take a dim view at this at some point, and that's true. The upshot here is threefold. Lending is going to decline as excess capital is drying up. Lending profits are inflated by the lack of upfront provision. The instant booking of gain to sale margin, and especially pronounced as loans are ramping up fast. But these are accounting idiosyncrasies, and over the lifetime of the loan, profits and losses will even out. So loaning money is a profitable business. The way you do your accounting, front, back, soon, now, take more up front, give more on the back end to the people buying your loans, it still comes out the same, that these loans are high quality, they're profitable, and over time, SoFi is going to make a ton of money on these loans. On not selling loans, management argued this, and basically they underscored the advantage of holding the loans on the balance sheet. 219 basis points of cost savings between our deposits and our warehouse facilities. So they're saving 2% on loans. That is a massive, massive savings. I think nothing is more important than that when talking about the advantages of having a bank charter, folks. Bart M is here. The best thing to do is buy SoFi consistently before the stock explodes. Bart M. Very, very smart man. Horse Sereno. What's up, Horse Sereno? Have not seen you in a while also. Flint Creek Soap Company is here from the crypt. MGD, seeking Turd. I would rather have Turda than Alpha. Rant, not a lurker. I don't have the energy, man. What's going on? JRP 7819. SoFi price is weird today. Yeah, it's double humping. It's double humping, JRP. I don't know why. They're just killing these options, guys. I mean, it's not super complicated, but look, it's still right where it should be. Popped up to 8, and it's just consolidating beautifully at 8. And that's the problem the shorts are having, guys. The stock will not consolidate at all at these lows. And that's how shorts work. They have to get the stock way down, and then they have to get it churning at the bottom where people are giving up and selling them shares at the bottom so they can cover lower than they shorted. It doesn't matter if they're naked short. It doesn't matter if they're short long. It doesn't matter if they're traditional, borrowing the shares and paying a borrow fee. That's how shorting works, turds. You can't short at 680 or 710 and then, cover at 790 and make money. These turds are upside down, guys. These turds are the bag holders. The last consolidation was right here, guys, in August. And that level is 830. That's higher than we are right now. And it's getting a little consolidation right now at 8. They needed consolidation to make their shit plan work down here at 685. They got nothing. You get nothing. Nothing. What's going on, guys? Welcome and hello and welcome. Not sure where I'm going with this live stream. Once again, G&G Polaroid. Man, I think it was really saying right. It was pretty static. Next one, around the short feast today. No, it's not really a short feast today. They were shorting $1 lower than this, man. I don't know what you're talking about. Doesn't really make any sense to me, but it's an option killing feast. They're killing a lot of calls. Buy SoFi, buy SoFi. Klaus is not a financial advisor, but he is a very intelligent man living out in the heart of the Midwest, and he's saying buy SoFi, and who am I to argue with Klaus Bohm? Un Poco Moss, indeed, sir. 2.8k shares now. Nice, Horse Arena. That's a nice position. Mac 80. Man's dropping real knowledge on us for turds. Thank you. You're very welcome, Mac 80. Thank you for joining me. I really, really appreciate it. Just procure Un Poco Moss shares. Very nice, guys. I have preferred shares. They're the same as your shares, but I just keep my shares in like a real nice velvet box. I keep them humidity and temperature controlled, basically like cigars, but for my shares. So my shares are preferred. They're in a preferred position, but they are just the regular common shares. But I prefer my shares to any other shares because I own them and they're making me money. So they are my preferred shares, but to you, they are simply common turd shares. Guys, chart looks bullish. Fundamentals look bullish. We're about to make a gap net profit. We have institutions just humming into the stock like crazy, guys. Sorry, I just spit all over myself. I really need some water. Anyway, guys, I just want to Marquetta. They just poached one of SoFi's employees, but this is interesting. Quadrature Capital raised their stake in SoFi. So 1,521% during the second quarter. They owned 2.8 million shares after acquiring an additional 2.6 million. And it's worth 23 million. Then listen to this. Moneta Group Investment Advisors acquired a new stake of shares in SoFi Technologies in the fourth quarter valued at $83 million. Norges Bank acquired a new stake in SoFi in the fourth quarter, valued at 44 million. I think that was actually these were last quarter, fourth quarter of last year. But guys, there's a lot of institutions in the stock. I know institutional ownership is up above 40% now. That is for certain. Princess J, I love you. You are the absolute best. That's coming from the turd in chief. Let's see, guys. Sebastian Cario. I love people named Sebastian. I call you Seabass after the brilliant place kicker for the Oakland Raiders, one of my heroes, Sebastian Janikowski. Where else can a fat Pollock kick a 60-yard field goal, go chug a beer, have a sausage, and not even think about it? The guy can limp off, kick a field goal from 65, sleep like a baby. Computer share, we can't use options, regularly registered shares, go get some water, dude. Okay, JRP. JRP's right. I'm going to listen to JRP. I'll be back in, as Chuck Woolery said, 2 and 2. I am going to let you turds take a look at this fantastic price action. I'll be right back, close out this live stream. If you turds have better things to do, I totally understand. Oh, hello and welcome, and hello, guys. Just sending a few very important texts. Getting some of that Mississippi Delta tap water pumped straight in off the river. That's good. Who's here, guys? Anybody still here talking to us? SoFi stock still at $7.93. Volume picking up just a little bit. We have 40 minutes left in the trading day. 22 million shares traded. Really like to see volume push up into the high 20 millions, but I just don't think that's going to happen today. Again, the algo is locked on. Got a weak double hump pattern. Max pain they're saying is 750, but you guys can see the maybe somebody can explain this to me, like what the hell's going on with this. But maybe these are really old, or I don't know, guys. But we've got open interest at 7, then 35,000 at 750, then all the volume comes in at 8, 859, 47,000 open interest at 9, 36,000 at 10, 1050 11, okay, then 10,000 at 1250, 18,000 open interest and 3,000 volume at 15, 20,000 open interest at $35 calls. I mean, what? And then on the put side, you've got just tons of open interest down here at 5, a ton at 6, and the only thing printing is, 8. And that's not really printing because, again, you have to get that probably down below $7.80 to make any money. So I don't know. These options are just kind of canceling each other out. I know the option sellers are collecting premium, but some of the options are printing, not that many. It's just basically flushing a lot of options to the market makers, just flushing a lot of premium. And those are probably a lot of the same people that are using that premium and using that churn and using the stop loss, and they're shorting the stock, guys. I mean, again, I don't know what they're waiting for. I don't know if they were hoping for a bad CPI number, but these guys are short. I mean, this is showing. This will go up. The short interest is 140 million shares in 3 months. That is up, 34%. Last 6 months, up 40%. In the last month, which is just a little bit more since the ER, it's up 20%. So I don't know, guys. Last 7 days, it's up 5%. The actual short interest. This is just one other thing I wanted you to think about as you look at this chart. Where we are now corresponds to these levels of support after the initial push past 8. I've said many times, guys, many times till I'm blue in my stupid head. Everything below 825 has been a fugazi. There was 90 million shares borrowed somewhere over here. It went all the way up to 160 million down here. 70 million additional shares borrowed. Massive shorting. No volume. This is mechanics doing bullshit. Taking money from impatient, stupid, paper-handed, weak retarders who don't know any better. Nobody with any brains, nobody with any gumption, nobody with any huevos, nobody with any minerals was selling this stock below $8.25. This whole area down here, guys. Let me just get out my doodle. Let me whip out my doodle. Okay? That's not as bad as it seems. Okay, guys, we see give me a thicker line. That's what she said. We see consolidation here, 825, bouncing off here. Okay, all of this was set up that completely backfired. Every time they wanted to get down here and cover and churn and get retarders to capitulate, the absolute opposite happened. They drove it down, institutions came in. They drove it down, retailers just picked their pocket. And now they're sitting with a much higher stock price on a massive short position. You tell me, guys. I'm going crazy, Chaos. I am going crazy. Absolutely right, Alberto. That's one of my favorite quotes. All you have to do is be patient, take the emotion out, play your game, wait for your time. But this, guys, this was just BS. This is a turd zone. This is support. Support here never even broke down, but this is artificial. This is getting tighter. Have you ever seen any graphing worse than this? Like, I don't know what the hell's going on. But guys, it is what it is. It's trading downward and sideways. This is not consolidation. You have to look at these candles, guys. The volume only comes in on the green. These red candles are fraudulent. They're more thin than the premise of a Chia Pet, fifth reiteration on his sell rating on the SoFi stock. There are no new ratings, guys. Again, I could not recommend more. If you're thinking about buying shares, if you just want a complete overview that is very objective and also gives a really good write up on the bear case, I recommend this article. SoFi's winning market share today on Seeking Alpha by Shareholders Unite. This guy, I guess, was an academic. Maybe that's a professor. I don't know, but he runs Shareholders Institute Portfolio, where he finds companies with multi-bagger potential, managing risk with a portfolio approach. But I read this article. I found it very, very informative, and I follow the stock closely. So, if you're new to the stock, I can't blame you. Yes, drink water. Are you talking to me or C-Bar? That tap coming right off of the Massapequa. That is delicious. 3 years. Deuce Kabuski's in the house. A few months ago, ran up the green exactly 4 minutes. Alberto says entirely true. Yeah, you guys really seem to know what you're talking about. But I can't follow all of the comments. Sebastian is here from the crypt. Payette is here. Horserino is here. Guys, welcome and hello and welcome and welcome and hello. And let me say hello and welcome to all my new viewers. Let's see what's going on, guys. Get you one final check if there's any update on the live short interest. Stock pushing up a little bit back to 794. We just have to see what happens, guys. 22.5 million shares traded on the day. Definitely would love to see that get at least 26 million here in the next 33 minutes. High 20s would be nice. The volume and the borrowing are how these turds control the price action. And yes, there's some institutions coming in, but it's not enough to really, really push on these guys just yet. We need some major buys, a few million shares every single day. Institutions coming in, getting that institutional ownership percentage from 37 up near that 50% mark. If we could just pull into the mid 40s by the time the ER comes around, it's going to make things very, very hard on the shorts if they don't let go of their position to one degree or another. So let me get you that promise check of the live short interest once again, see if anything has changed. No, it's still the same, flat, but again, they were returning 4 million shares and then they borrowed back another 3 million. So they borrowed almost 4 million. Actually, yesterday they borrowed over 4 million. So they continue to borrow. They continue to dig in. A lot of nonsense on the dark pool. Also, shorting with puts. So these shorts have not gone anywhere. They either have huge balls or they're incredibly stupid. I vote for the latter. But, you can vote with your money and decide. If I wanted to send you a Christmas gift that is elephant related, do you have a P.O. box? Yes. Yes, I do. I am actually not an elephant. I am actually a people. But, I appreciate the sentiment, Deuce Kabuski, you massive, massive turd. Of all my turds, you're one of my favorites. Toper time check. It's top of the hour, guys. A Toper time check. Let me get you guys a Toper time check. It's 12:28 p.m. It's 2 minutes to the bottom of the hour, 32 minutes to the top of the hour, 28 minutes past the top of the hour. It is 32 minutes until your happy ass gets to go have a bologna sandwich out in the break room where all the smokers hang out. What's the matter? You can't afford to go to Chipotle? No, I can't. I spend all my money on menthol cigarettes. That's why I'm out here stinking like a turd out in the smokers area while you eat that bologna sandwich. This isn't my lunch. This is actually an analyst from Compass Point. Like, oh my God, I recognize this guy. I was at the drive-in movie the other night. This guy was actually filling in as a supplemental emergency movie screen with his 5 head. I'm like, buddy. He's like, I'm still blind from, they were showing Jodie Foster movies on my forehead all night, so I'm both, my corneas are scarred and my emotions are scarred. Professor, I don't need to know anything, Dr. Lecter. Just tell me who he is. He's like, Clarice, why are you talking out the side of your mouth? You're very old for a rookie, Clarice. He's like, I know, Dr. Lecter, so many things in this film are incongruous and don't make sense, such as my accent lambs. I can hear them. Guys, nobody wants a Jodie Foster impression. Yeah, hand waving. Not a lurker. I like to talk with my hands because it helps me express myself and my feelings. Guys, I'm writing an autobiography. It's about all of my experiences. I hope you're all going to buy a copy. It's going to be on shelves very, very soon. I am sick of all of you turds, and I am completely sick of this live stream. I'm not sick of SoFi, but I'm sick of all of you. Guys, it's un poco mas. That's all I can give you. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you soon. Peace. I'm out.